Доброго дня, шановні колеги. Сьогодні у нас, як зазвичай,
Good morning, dear friends. We are going to start the briefing of the Credential Administration speaker regarding the information from the ATO zone. You have the floor, Colonel. Good afternoon, dear colleagues. I would like to offer your attention the information regarding the progress of the events in the ATO zone over the last 24 hours. Generally, the situation is stabilized at the high level of tension. The militants activate their criminal activities late at night and during the early hours in the morning, and only in the Donetsk segment they fire almost around the clock. In the Lugansk section, they continue the relative ceasefire or silence, but the militants continue to disperse with fire from grenade launchers near станицы Луганска. Счастье сокольники попали на Золотые. The most intensive Russian terrorist troop provide the most intensively violate the Minsk agreements in the next segment. As before, the majority of the shells were fixed near the Donetsk airport, near Marinka, from the 122mm artillery, mortar launch, grenade launchers, tank, and firearms. The high level of tension continues in the western outskirts of Gorlivka. During the day, the criminal formations shelled using the large caliber inflammation cartridges. The village of Novgradsky to the south of Dzержinsk. As a result, several of the residential buildings caught fire. The soldiers, ATO soldiers tried to help the local residents, but the criminals started to fire, preventing them from extinguishing fire of those buildings on fire. The illegal armed formations activates in the near Svetlodarsk. More than once they shelled the position of the ATO forces near Lugansk, Artemisк region. Also, the combat activities renewed at the Mariupol segment. The illegal armed formations shell the populated area using the large caliber artillery. They also use 120 and 122mm howitzers. Actually, near Chermalik, etc. Within the Donetsk and Lugansk regions, they fixed the flights of 5 drones used by the Russian Harriers for the aerial reconnaissance. Over the last 24 hours, one Ukrainian soldier was killed. Many sites yesterday in the morning near the village of Permansky, Sinovati district of Donetsk region, there was a tragedy. The road accident, as a result of which 3 Ukrainian soldiers were killed and 4 were wounded. And now the latter are in the hospitals. As a result of the shortings of станицы Luganska, they damaged the gas pipeline and they damaged 3 buildings. Also, one woman was wounded as a result of wire trip. Along the line of contacts, they continue to stop the illegal movement of commodities and freights. Over the last 24 hours, they managed to stop 6 vehicles, which carried mostly the food products to the amount of over 300,000 hryvnia. They didn't have any bills or any respective documents trying to bypass the checkpoints. The law enforcement agencies prevented a series of terroristic acts on the territory of the Donetsk region. In town of Dobropila, in the house of one of the members of the PR criminal formation, they seized 5 kilograms C4 explosive grenade launcher RPG-26 Kalashnikov, a machine gun with the cartridges, several sets of the uniforms. In the town of Chasiv Yar, Artemis District Lieutenant's region, they detained one of the militants. During the occupation of the city, the detained actually was on duty at the checkpoints and actually tried to use the fortification units. Now I would like to offer to your attention the video of interrogation of this militant and drug dealer. Actually, I didn't participate in any combat actions. I would like everybody who knows me to stop resistance opposed to the Ukrainian troops. All of us, we were lost and we were wrong in our actions. So I kindly ask you, and please stop all those warfare and go back to your homes, to your near and dear, to continue the peaceful life. We have very good relations here with everybody. They will listen to you and hear you. They will understand you. Guys, come back to your houses and homes. Your wives and children are waiting for you. Please go back home. Do not offer any resistance. Surrender and put down your weapons. People here, all the guys are very good here, so please try to understand that. In Odessa, they had a kind of the travel of the sea trip using the small boats, and those are students of Odessa National Sea Naval Academy. During 10 days, 58 students were practicing their theoretical knowledge and navigation, etc. They also went through one of the big, the severe storms, and they displayed the courage, stamina. Last time, similar sea voyages of students took place about 15 years ago. In Lviv, the managers of the defense departments of Lithuania, Poland, and Ukraine signed a technical agreement regarding the formation of Brigade Lead Pol Ukrbrig, composed of the servicemen of 3 countries. The brigades will be based in Poland, and everything is prepared for its dislocation. Ukrainian artists and performers support the military guys in the zone of the ATO. In the east of Ukraine, they offered this series, a number of the concerts. The musicians from Chernihiv region. Also, the concert was attended by local residents in order to hear the very good voices of Bukovina. Also, all the participants in the concert had the chance to see the drawings, which were collected by the children from all the nukes of Ukraine. In Lysychansk, they marked the anniversary of liberation of the city from militants. The local authorities, military command, and the citizens, they put the flowers near the monument to those who were killed, General Alexander Rdievsky, Colonel Pavel Sinshar, soldier Igor Kosyar. Also, now the unique history about our doctors who, by some miracle, managed to save the life of our guy on July 19 in Marinka. Vadim, one of the servicemen, was under the enemy's shelling and was severely wounded in the heart. He was immediately taken to Dnipropetrovsk. They actually delivered 2 fragments of the shell from his heart, and the doctors now say that in 2 weeks from now he will be good again. And on this good and positive note, I would like to finish my presentation. Should you have any questions or comments, please shoot. Today, this morning, in 7:10 brigade was shelled. Do you have any information about that? Well, actually, as for the morning, we are going to have next morning this information. We provide information over the last 24 hours, so please. Thank you very much, dear colleagues. Next briefing on the Presidential Administration Speaker for ATO events will be tomorrow, 12:30. Thank you, and see you again.